Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Today we're diving into a really fascinating paradox in modern technology. Think about it. We literally spend thousands of dollars on these incredibly sleek devices, right? And they're backed by billions of dollars in UX research, all aimed at making every single interaction lightning fast and perfectly intuitive. But here's the crazy part. We're actually discovering that the secret to reclaiming our cognitive autonomy, basically getting our brains back, might actually be making these magnificent machines deliberately harder to use. That's the exact tension we're going to explore today, drawing directly from some really compelling source material on how to design intentional hurdles against our own deeply ingrained digital habits.
Okay, let's dive into this. We've all experienced that weird phantom pull, haven't we? You unlock your phone, fully intending to just quickly check the weather, and suddenly, bam, you're 3 minutes deep into a social media feed with absolutely zero recollection of how you even got there. So why does this happen? Well, it's not just simple muscle memory. It's actually a complete hijacking of our executive functioning. Our devices are engineered so seamlessly that they completely bypass our conscious intent. We aren't actively making choices anymore. We're just executing these deeply ingrained behavioral loops triggered by, well, completely frictionless design. The interface is just too smooth, and it literally prevents our brains from pausing to assess what we're actually doing.
So to reclaim that executive control, we really need a totally new overarching framework, and that framework is called digital friction. Essentially, think of digital friction as the act of designing intentional hurdles against mindless app usage. So instead of just allowing a perfectly optimized interface to totally dictate our actions through sheer ease, we purposefully inject speed bumps into our own digital pathways. Because when an interface is utterly devoid of friction, we just lose our mindfulness entirely. But by reintroducing that resistance, we actually force our conscious brains to wake up and, actively participate in the decision-making process again.
The source material actually puts this beautifully. The whole goal here is making apps inconvenient. And honestly, there is a profound irony here. We pay absolutely top dollar for ultra-fast processing, these brilliant displays that respond to a feather-light touch, crazy fast networks, the whole shebang. And the proposed solution to save our own cognitive bandwidth is to actively sabotage these marvels of modern engineering. It's kind of funny when you think about it. We are essentially engineering inconvenience right back into our pristine digital lives, just to give our prefrontal cortex a fighting chance against our basal ganglia. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. For years, Silicon Valley's holy grail has been frictionless design, removing every conceivable barrier to keep you consuming faster, easier, and longer. But that very convenience? That's the trap. It's exactly what enables that zombie-like scrolling trance. The new paradigm flips this entirely on its head, advocating instead for intentional hurdles. In this totally new context, inconvenience isn't a bug in the system. It's actually the necessary solution. It's the deliberate antidote to an environment that has simply become way too perfect and, quite frankly, a little too predatory for our own good. Now, implementing this doesn't require complex coding or signing up for some extreme digital detox masterclass. It starts super simply by just removing the date. Step 1. Strip those highly optimized, brightly colored app icons right off your home screen. Just remove the immediate temptation. Step 2. If you really want to check a platform, force yourself to navigate there through a clunky mobile web browser instead. It sounds like a super trivial change on the surface, right? But the cognitive shift it triggers in your daily habits is absolutely profound.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the psychology behind that slight delay. An app shortcut gives you instant gratification. It's one tap, 0 milliseconds of waiting, immediate dopamine hit. Contrast that with the deliberate effort required to open a mobile browser. You literally have to tap the URL bar, physically type out the web address, hit enter, and then navigate this far less optimized interface. That tiny window of time, that deliberate physical friction, is exactly the circuit breaker needed to interrupt an automatic habit loop. It gives your conscious brain those crucial few seconds to catch up to your thumb and ask, wait a second, do I actually want to be doing this right now?
Ultimately, the whole objective here is to definitively stop the mindless tapping. These designed hurdles, they aren't punishments. They're vital circuit breakers for our absolute worst digital habits. By injecting these specific points of friction into our tech use, we successfully disrupt that automatic behavioral loop. Because when you can no longer rely on sheer momentum to instantly open a distracting feed, you transform. You go from being a passive consumer of content right back into an active, intentional user of your own device. The friction literally forces you to be present.
Which leaves us with a crucial and honestly pretty provocative question regarding your own screen time. Which digital convenience are you willing to sacrifice to regain your mindfulness? Seriously, think about the platforms that hijack your intent the most effortlessly. Applying the concept of digital friction means making a conscious, deliberate choice to embrace the hurdle. So, as we wrap up this explainer, Ask yourself, are you willing to give up a tiny fraction of speed to win back hours of your cognitive autonomy? It's your call. Choose your friction wisely.